actually try and film this video yesterday. She's awesome. I caught it. You can't push it over. This video is going so well. So yes, Splish is actually not.
All of the things we're taking, 'cause we are young and we're ashamed.
Today's shout out goes to Not Your Standard Stationbred and Lexi Hope EQ. If you'd like to have the chance of receiving a shout out in the next Vlogmas and having your comment pinned on this video, make sure to keep watching. I've hidden an emoji somewhere within this video. The first person to comment that emoji correctly will win. Hey guys, welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. I did actually try and film this video yesterday. She's awesome. I caught it. You can't push it over. This video is going so well. It did not work out how I intended it to work out, so I'm refilming it today. So hence why I'm wearing the same top, just in case I do use some of the clips from yesterday. Anyway, let's get into it. So to start us off, of course, we need to start with Splish. He is the star of this YouTube channel. I've had him for 7 years and he is my heart horse. I absolutely adore him and I'd do anything for him. He is just the most amazing guy. He's the 2001 half Stationbred 7/16 thoroughbred and 1/16 Clydesdale blue Roan Pinto. He is 15 one hands high. He's done everything. He's a bit of a legend. He's pretty good at everything he does. But we have been focusing on show jumping and show hunter for the past couple of years because we did have a bad accident on cross country. If you haven't seen, there's a video up on my channel about it. It kind of went viral. He is such a darling. I love him with my whole heart. He will always have a forever home with us. He is just so incredible, aren't you, buddy? I've actually kept his age on the down low for a number of years because there's so much stigma around horses when they're like over the age of 13. People just seem to write them off and say that they're too old when you really need to look at the individual horse and analyse their situation and their health and all the environmental factors. So yes, Splish is actually 19. That may come as a surprise to a lot of people because he does not look like an old man. He's in such good health and condition. My show jumping coach doesn't actually believe that he is 19, but he is. He doesn't act it, his legs are great, and he'll keep going for a good couple of years to come. I've jumped him up to 1.30 m and I've done like 1.25 m, 1.30 m show jumping rounds with him, just schooling, but he's more comfortable around 1 metre, potentially 1.10 m. We'll see how the season goes and how next season goes. But he loves his job. He does not want to retire anytime soon. When I was in high school and during uni, I didn't do a whole heap with him because I was quite busy, so that gave his legs a rest during that time for a couple of years. So he's still got a lot left in the tank and I'm excited to see how we go. But of course I'm not going to push him. We're listening to him. If he gives us any sign that he wants to start to slow down, we'll listen to him, but he is not ready. He gets really sad when he's not ridden, and he loves going out. He loves being the centre of attention. He's such a good boy. My goals with him is to just have fun with him and see how we go, but we'll just take things as they come. He has so much scope, but because he is a little horse, his strides are quite small, so compared to the bigger hacks, he's not as competitive because his stride's smaller, which sometimes makes finding a distance hard on him. A fun fact about him is he was a stallion, so he has 6 kids, I think, off the top of my head, and his full brother is also still a stallion and looks exactly like him, but is just a little bit bigger. But he's such an easy guy. He is just the most amazing horse and I just love him to pieces. He is going to have a forever home with us. I just can't bear to part with him. He's my darling. This video is really going to expose how short I am. So next up we have Archie. He is 14-2 Frisian Welsh cross. We bred him ourselves and he was also kept as a stallion for a wee while. I've recently done a video explaining everything about him and where he's up to in life and kind of how he's come about with me taking over the ride. You can't keep getting closer and closer to the camera. So if you do want a more in-depth video about that, check that out on my channel. It's a pretty recent video. Don't bite my legs, please don't bite my legs. He's a pretty funny guy. He has a great sense of humour. I'm aiming to compete him up to 1.20 m, hopefully 1.30 m, but that is in the future. I've only jumped him up to 1.15 m so far, but he has scope and potential to do Pony Grand Prix. So he's got quite an exciting future, but it's just a matter of helping him get there because he thinks he knows everything. He's quite cheeky. I'm really excited to be working with him. I have some big goals with him, but he's a really fun guy. So just does the most randomest shit. Like at the moment, he's biting my toes. So this little fella here is Dandy. He was my second pony. He's a 13-1 Shetland Arab cross and he's around 27 now, I think. So he is retired. We take him everywhere and he was just like an absolute legend. He always looked after his riders. He was just like a unicorn, like a literal unicorn. He loved going to the beach, but one particular time we took him, we decided to take off all his tack, and I'd never ridden him completely tackless. But we decided to like take off his saddle, take off his bridle, and we just cantered down the beach, real chilled. Such an awesome wee guy, like truly one in a million. I'm so grateful to have had a pony as amazing as him and to be able to have kept him. Obviously, because he is 27, he is retired now. So his duties are now to just look after the 10-month-old foal and to just teach you the ways of the world because he's such a chilled guy. Absolute legend, aren't you, Dan? Yeah. Next we have Peace, who is a 10-month-old Stationbred Appaloosa Clydie cross. She's currently around 13.2 and her estimated height is between 15.1 to 15.2. There's a video up on my channel which gives you a more in-depth explanation about her story. So one thing I should mention is my mum actually owns and runs a riding school. So that's the reason behind why we have 9 horses. Splash and Archie are not used in the riding school, they are my 2 horses. But the next few horses I'm going to show you are used in the riding school. And we're going to start it off with Binky. So this cute little guy is Binky. He's also called Peyton, but we kind of renamed him Binky. I don't really know how that name came about. But he's a 12-2 Welsh gelding. I think he's around 10, 8 or 10. Don't quote me on that, I can't remember off the top of my head. But we bought him at the start of this year in February. He's such a cool wee dude. He's like your dream, like Princess Barbie pony. He's just such a cutie. He's so snuggly, so licky, and so gentle. So we use him for our little wee riders. But we also put some of our more experienced but lighter riders on him because he does enjoy jumping and he does enjoy going around and having a bit of fun every now and then. He's got a stripe and he's got full white socks and he's going to leave me now. He's just like your ideal kids pony. You can trust him so much. He's just such a cool dude. Next up we have Indy, who is a 15-1 Appaloosa. He could be 15-2. We've had him for around 2 or 3 years now, I think. He's such a cool guy. He's so chilled out. You can put little riders or you can put like adults on him and he'll just take care of them. He's such a comfortable ride as well. He's really well schooled and he has a nice jump on him. He's got such a kind personality and is really gentle, which is great. He's just such a gem. We're really lucky to have him in the riding school. He loves going to the beach, going to the forest, going down the river, going on the road. So this guy here is Hobo. Don't laugh at his name. He's a 14-1 Connemara with a wee star. So Hobo has a wee backstory to him. We actually bought him when I was around 10 or 11. I was growing out of Dandy and I needed a bigger pony, so we bought Hobo. However, at the time he did not like show jumping. That was a slight issue because I've always been into jumping. I talk a bit more about like his story in my riding journey video. We unfortunately didn't click as a combination, but everything worked out well. But he went into the riding school and he's been teaching heaps of people how to ride. The stud farm that we bought him from, they actually breed a lot of Grand Prix ponies. So his half sister, she might be his full sister actually jumped to Pony Grand Prix, but unfortunately that calling was not for Hobo. He's such a genuine wee guy as well. This cute wee girl here is Molly. She's a 13-2 Pinto mare. I think she's around 10 or 11. Don't quote me on that though. Molly is also one of our riding school ponies. She's such a wee darling. She loves her job and she loves having the little kids, but she also loves having the older, more experienced riders on her because she's a great wee jumper. She has the cutest knees when she jumps. We got Molly around 3 or 4 years ago. She was actually on trial at one of the RDAs in our area. However, she was too forward moving for them, so they ran rang us and they said that they had a pony and they were wondering if we wanted to trial it before she went back to her owners. So I went and rode her and my mum fell in love with her and we got her. She hasn't really done a lot of competing in like show jumping or dressage or eventing. Her owners were more into endurance riding and trekking, so she's been out and done a lot of that sort of hacking type of stuff, and she's great to do that with. Since we've gotten her back into jumping. And our last riding school horse is Rosie. So Rosie's a 15-2 Lipizzaner Stationbred cross. This girl has really nice movement, especially her extended trot. It's super floaty and you can definitely see the Lipizzaner side coming through. She loves her jumping, she's very springy. We originally bought her because she was going to be my mum's horse, and she was for a while, but she's found some employment in the riding school. And if you're wanting to make yourself feel good and make yourself feel really fancy with dressage or jumping, she's the horse to ride because she gives such a nice feel. Again, like with all our horses, we can put really little kids on her and she'll just be an absolute sweetheart and look after them. But equally, she can have nervous adults or really experienced adults on them and she'll look after them and give them a super ride. Good deal. Hey. My mum's also had classical dressage lessons on her with a top classical dressage rider, and they were able to get Rosie to do some piaffe and some passage, so that was quite cool.